Hey guys, what's going on? So happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. Welcome back to another video. So I'm pretty excited for this one today. However, I need to recap you guys. I need to okay, so last week I said that there was going to be a video. If you guys watched or caught my video last week, and I was saying that this video is going to be called Do Not Kill Your Child's Dreams, or Do Not Ruin Your Child's Dreams. I don't know, it was something like that. But okay, next Friday we're gonna have a video. Now that video that went, I'm just gonna say my guides one day out of nowhere told me to write everything that I was hearing down, and I did. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna leave it out there. And I even, this is so important that I'm going to put it on all of my social media, full videos, except for TikTok, of course, because I can't. But it's very vital. It's very important. It's called Do Not Kill Your Child's Dreams. I'm going to leave on that note, and I will see you guys next Friday. Be ready. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next week. 111. Okay, cool. So I wanted to recalibrate on the idea of don't ruin your child's dreams. I want to switch that up. One, because I want to get vulnerable and be honest with you guys. It was something that I thought was going to be so good. And mind you, there are some fucking gems in there. Like, I can't wait to actually, okay, let me get into it first. So basically what that was is I needed that download. I needed the Do Not Kill Your Child's Dreams download. I thought it personally, as soon as I got the download, I was like, this is so good to tell my YouTube friends. This is so good to share, because there were so many good things in there that I really want to tell you, and I will give you guys bits and pieces of it. But it was mainly just for me, and I think my ego wanted to provoke it out because it was so good. But it's not the right time right now. One, because I am still experiencing reparenting my inner child, and also understanding what I wrote down, because it was so much, it was like so much information, so much detailed, that I need to experience this first. So when I go back to these notes, which I will sometime this year, when I go back to these notes and I can understand more about what I'm saying, and also deliver it more well as well, or more better, I guess, to you all, not from a hurt place, but from a place of love. I feel as though if I do it now, it'd be from a more personal and fear-based perspective rather than a love-based and objective point of view. So I wanted to give you guys a little recalibration on that, because we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking more about your dreams and your mindset, and how to have that more intimate conversation with yourself for the betterment of yourself, and also to allow yourself to just be you, allow yourself to be free, allow yourself to release those conditioned illusions that you knew or that you were taught. Let those go. We are in the breaking of a new era. We are in the mix of a new era right now. Pluto is going to be touching Aquarius within a few months, and Saturn will be going into Pisces within a few months as well. March is going to be huge for everyone. It can be very confusing, and it can be very out there, just because it is in Pisces season, and a little bit Aries season as well. That's when the North nodes change as well. We're not going to get into a lot of astrology today. So just a little disclaimer, I'm not going to do that video today. I am hoping I get the okay from my guides within a couple of months, or within the year. I feel like it'll definitely be before this year's over. I Do Not Ruin Your Child's Dreams video. I might do something a little bit different, but I need to experience that first. I need to experience that for myself first before I help other people do the same thing, okay? But today I will be helping you guys out on changing your mindset, and then also revamping your conversations with yourself and others as well. So that's what's going to be going on today. This will really help you achieve a lot of your things, because change your mind, change your life. If you guys haven't watched that video, it's really helpful, because your mindset is everything. Your mindset is your projector. Your consciousness is everything. That's what filters in and filters out everything that you accumulate as a being. So make sure within this video that you take notes. If you have pen and paper, if you're just listening to this while you're driving, I completely understand. But really take yourself not too seriously, but also respect yourself at the same time. And that can be so hard to find the middle ground, because you don't want to be too playful to where you like fuck yourself over, but you don't want to be too serious to where you're always in like a Grinch mode. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be the Grinch who stole Christmas because you're so cold, okay? You don't want to close your heart up too much, but you don't want to open it. You want to find that medium. So you don't want to take yourself too seriously or life too seriously, but you want to take it enough to where you respect yourself and to honor the universe as well. So I am totally winging it today. I mean, I have some notes that I have it was actually out and about, and I was like, oh my gosh, this actually would be great. It kind of correlates with the do not kill your child's dreams. It has like a little bits and pieces, some gems that I will follow through with that, but not the whole entire thing. Like, the whole entire thing is completely, I'm not even gonna speak on it. But anyways, the reason why I didn't want to do it is because it's not time. It's not time. If I can be vulnerable with you guys, I am still like hurting and grieving from all that I knew, and all of my past. So I'm still trying to get out of that place and go into my new programming. So right now, like, let's say this is your old programming, it's your new programming. I am like in the V area right now, like still trying to climb up to this new programming right now. So I'm about like probably like right here. And so I don't, you know, I want to take responsibility of my life. So I'm going to still keep climbing and give you guys the best things that I can within my ability, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna give you guys a quick summary today. So we're gonna start off with talking about the mindset. And with this, it's going to be a couple of gems from the download that I got that I'm not going to do today, but it will have some gems on there. And then I'm going to give you guys a couple of sentences that you can say to yourself, or transitions, like old conversations versus new conversations. Now, I didn't make this up originally. I actually got this from I don't know his name because I'm not really in the company anymore, but I got it from a company that I used to work for online, and they were great. Okay, they were great at personal improvement. They were great at positive thinking, accepting what is, doing the work to, it was a lot of inner work, and that's actually how I got started in 2020 with them. And then it kind of trickled into yoga, and then astrology, the numerology, and then all that stuff. But they were the ones that taught me personal development. And that is so vital for every being on this earth, or at least every human being, okay? Because we are constantly growing and we're constantly evolving. And if we keep, oh my gosh, I saw this TikTok last night, and she was literally, okay, I'm getting too excited because this is crazy. I'm not gonna try to make this video so long, so I'm gonna try to hurry up and, you know. So, okay, there was this lady that was saying something about the TikTok algorithm, right? She was like, you know how the algorithm you know, shows you videos and all that stuff, and you get accustomed to, the algorithm is accustomed to what you like and what you know and what you hear, you know. She was like, what if that is like, or what if that's the same way the universe works? Like TikTok is like a literal version of the universe. The universe will only show you what you know, what you like, what you keep seeing, because some people don't hit the non-interested or interested button. Like they'll just keep scrolling, right? But they get the same thing until like a little glimpse comes up of something different, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe they'll go down that spiral, and then they'll add that to their algorithm. Anyways, she was like, what if life is the same way, aka law of attraction? The algorithm keeps feeding you, and until you stop scrolling and you start searching for more, then that's what you're going to get. You're always going to get the same algorithm in life until you dig deeper, until you seek something else, until you look something up, until you do something different. Like, let's say you're on TikTok and you're so tired of looking at, I don't know, cooking videos, and you're like, well, I'm so tired of cooking videos. Let me look up things about dance, because you want to start dancing or something. So you look up these dance workouts, and those start coming into your algorithm eventually as you look into them more. Like, that makes total sense. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, it's crazy how much everything is so literal. Like, even the things like on the movies and like radio and TV shows, they literally tell you like what's going on. Okay, I'm getting way off topic. Anyways, so oh, this is supposed to be the summary. Okay, so summary. Seriously, mindset, old conversations versus new conversations, so we can get this algorithm moving on to something else, something new. And then afterwards, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks on just regulating these new conversations with yourself, and of course some Zen. You guys, speaking of Zen, do you guys like my new necklace? Oh my goodness, isn't it so cute? And it's like a little ball. It's a jet crystal. A lot of people in ancient times used this crystal. Shout out to Pyschic Kauffman, because this is where I got it from. I actually watched one of her videos. I will link it down below, and it's called I think it's like psychic protection, or like things for if you're like an empath and you're way too open, this is how you protect yourself. But yeah, jet is it's really good for protection, and it's also really good for stability in the root chakra. So if you're working on your root chakra, like, this is the one, I'm just gonna say. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it, because I mean, I don't want to waste too much of y'all's time. So, mindset. If you have not watched Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, go down to the description box and click on that first. You don't have to watch part 2, which is transmutation, if you don't want to, but Change Your Mind, Change Your Life will help you with this, because I'm not going to really reiterate what I put in that video. You know, follow your intuition and understand what you need to do first. All right, but mindset. So here it is. The best thing that you can learn how to do is to be patient. When you are changing your mindset, changing your programming, be patient with yourself. Be freaking patient, as if this mindset is like a baby. Like, you know, you just don't tell the baby to do this, to do this, and to do that, because the baby doesn't know how to do anything yet. It's just here. You know what I'm saying? The mindset is available to you, okay? Remember that we are in this limitless universe, and we are limitless beings. We just have to practice that, okay? It's a practice. Just like when you're a baby, you practice how to crawl before you started walking, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same concept. So be patient with yourself. Patience is, I think it's called, is a virtue. Stick that into your mind, okay? Patience is a life skill, okay? So learning how to be patient with yourself will allow you to be patient with other things, such as people, places, things, delays, everything like that. But first you need to learn how to be patient with yourself. Learn that it is okay to make mistakes. Learn that it is okay to take things beat by beat, step by step. We're not in a race, okay? We are all in our different programmings, designs, and we follow what feels best for us. So learn how to be patient with yourself when those feelings do come up. Learn how to make space for them to feel and then release, okay? If it's not that easy, I completely understand. It took me so long to understand that. Like, it took me so long. You're not the only one. But the number one thing is to really be patient with yourself, because it takes time for this mindset to, you know, reprogram itself, to cleanse itself out, to reprogram. It's an alchemy thing, okay? So learning how to be patient with yourself is like the number one thing, okay? The second thing is to be realistic. You want to be realistic with where you are and where you want to be. I had a huge struggle with this last year, because when I was learning how to shift mindsets, I've always wanted just to be there. You know, I always just wanted to, all right, I didn't acknowledge where I was. I was like, this is where I want to go. So I'm following these footsteps. And a lot of it, I'm glad that I had the experiences, but a lot of it ended up being taken for granted, like washed away super fast, because I was so tuned into, I have to get this mindset, I have to get this mindset. And the more that I was so narrowed down, I couldn't see the outside of where I was. And clearly where I was not near where I wanted to be. So I had to accept. So being realistic allows you to accept where you are, and then notify yourself, okay, this is where I am. And then you can allow yourself to start, okay? Because it allows you to sit with yourself first, to accept what choices and habits that you've already made, to understand where you are today. And sometimes it's not an understanding thing. Sometimes it's just, it is what it is, but it's helpful if you understand. That's neither here or there too. But accepting where you are really helps with the process. It took me forever to accept where I was, to go on the journey that I actually was directed to, okay? It took me forever to learn, this is where I am right now. Because if you don't accept where you are, you'll base it on either someone else's view or how the mind thinks it should move, okay? So really accepting where you are physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, all of those things, accepting that will allow you to understand, okay, if I'm right here, I don't need to be right here right now. I need to come right here, okay? This is where my first step is. So once you accept here, then you take that leap, you know, you start and embrace the start. Celebrate the start, even if it's with yourself, if it's with your partner, with whoever, okay? Celebrate the beginning. This is where I'm going, okay? And you know that you are human. You're gonna be patient with yourself, and you know that this is going to take time, because this is a baby to you. You know what I'm saying? And some babies learn how to read learn how, or not learn how to read. Some babies learn how to crawl within a few months and starts walking like their first year. Some babies learn how to walk within 8 months. It's depending on your journey, okay? It's not a time thing. Now, they do say that it takes like 21 days to cultivate a habit. I mean, maybe 21 days is very doable for like a stepping stone of changing your mindset, okay? So, and maybe what I'm about to teach you now, you guys can do this for like 21 days or something. I don't know. To each their own, but learn how your computer operates. Learn how your mindset operates, okay? Because each mindset is completely different. And you have to also think that mindset is connected with that identity as well. And if you learn how to understand yourself more, you can understand how the mind works as well, okay? But the thing is to accept, okay? Celebrate the acceptance. And then when that goes on, remember when the first step was patience? Okay, so you have patience, you're being realistic, you're sticking to where you're at, and you're moving forward from there, okay? You're starting to crawl now. You're in the crawling stages. And sometimes you tip over, sometimes, you know, depending on what kind of pants you're wearing that day, it might be very slippery, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to throw a tantrum every single time. A baby doesn't throw a tantrum every time, like, they slide or they like accidentally, you know, lean another way, or they just get right back up, right? So watch what you say, okay? Observe what you say during this time, because there are going to be some trials and errors, because that's what our experiences are for. They're for feedback, you know what I'm saying? They're feedback to understand where you are and where you're going. So with the trial and error, the experiences that you have, because you will have experiences that will test your mindset. I mean, we always do. And it's your responsibility to watch that policeman, that inner critic in there. Name it if you need to. You know, name your inner critic or that perfectionist. Identify it, because it helps the mind. Let's say you went out today and there's a bunch of traffic, okay? Let's just say there's a bunch of traffic. Instead of you getting so mad and raging about how much traffic there is, you actually take a beat, you're patient with yourself, and you watch what you say. You say, oh, well, I can at least listen to this podcast for a little bit. Or next time I leave out, I'll make sure I'll do X, Y, and Z. Like, I leave a little bit earlier. You just watch out what you say, because what you say and what you project it's like a spell. If you guys have ever read The Four Agreements, I highly recommend you guys to read that book. But your words are so powerful, and it really can influence your mind, okay? What you project is what's going on in your mind. Remember, your perception is your projection, okay? So if your perception is within this raging feeling, you can be because remember, we are the observers of our thoughts. We aren't our thoughts. We are the observer of our thoughts. So if you observe that, you know, your rage is about to come up, you understand, okay, I need to take a deep breath, and I need to channel this into something else. Channel it into a favorite song of yours. Channel it into a podcast that you want to listen to that can help your mindset calm down. Listen to a 5-minute meditation car thing. They have those. They have car meditations. You know, really learn how to observe what you say and channel it into something different. This takes time. This takes patience, yes, but it is doable. It is possible for you to change one program to another program, okay? It's just a repetitive practice that you have to do, okay? So watch what you say, because your words mean everything. Your words are very powerful. It's okay that you don't have all the answers. It's all right if you don't know what to do. This new programming anything that's new, honestly, you have to learn, okay? We are always and constantly being our own student and teacher of this universe, of this world. We're always constantly being the student, and then the teacher, and then the student, and then the teacher, and then sometimes both. It really depends on how you will take it, how you perceive it, okay? So really watch what you say. Try to, or learn how to not block the negative energy, but channeling it to something else, or release it, or tell yourself, I am not going to give my negative thoughts to power today, because you understanding that you are more powerful than your thoughts is going to be that's a moneymaker right there. Your network is your net worth, and I don't mean your network as in knowing other people, but your network within knowing yourself and all parts of yourself. We are not just this one body. We are multi-dimensional beings that have so many different parts from us, from not only this lifetime, but so many other lifetimes beforehand, okay? So if you get to know your own network, being aligned with that, your net worth is going to grow. And that's literally in the way that your body, your soul has always came to this earth to do and to live for, okay? It doesn't have to be monetarily things. It doesn't have to be physical things. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's really tailored to your own soul and what your soul needs and desires. When you are starting this new programming, you have to think that the things that you're around now, they are possible, they're still going to be here, but it's not going to be the same because you're trying to move differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to look a little bit different because you're changing your mindset. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to overcome the fears of not staying the same. You have to overcome the fears of the past. You have to overcome the fear of possibly humiliating yourself or looking stupid. But little do we know, everyone's fear is to not look stupid. But I mean, that's inevitable. We're human beings, we make mistakes. So I don't know if that was just for my Venus and Virgo, but I needed that. But you have to build up the courage to feel like the student again. You know what I'm saying? You have to build up the courage to be open and be available to information that you don't know, but that can help your growth tremendously. You know what I'm saying? And you have an intuition. We all do. What's right and what's wrong for you, or what's best and what's not best for you, okay? So you being open and available, you have to accept that, yes, you might be wrong. Yes, you have to be open. Yes, you cannot be in a closed box with, this is what I know, okay? Because it's impossible for that new information to come in. It's kind of like if, let's say that your computer is full, okay, and you're trying so hard to shove all of this other new information, but your computer can't because it's so full of past things that you put on there, or viruses or distractions, and you're like, well, why isn't this working? You start getting frustrated because that new stuff needs more space. So you have to clear all of that past stuff, all the things that you knew, to allow that new space, or that new energy to come in, that new program to come in, okay? Because if your computer's full, then how are you going to get new information in? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't be full of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to allow yourself to be the full, to be okay with making mistakes. And all right, well, this day I might know what I'm talking about, but this day I don't know what I'm talking about. You have to be okay and be open to what the universe is trying to say to you, and not be so restrictive or hold resentment, because then it'll take a little bit more longer, which is okay. Experiences is everything, but it'll take a little bit more longer for you to, level up. So be creative too. Be creative in the process. when you do things differently, you have to move differently, right? So when you're moving differently, learn how to create within the process. Create something that you love. Create something that is meaningful to you during this process. Whatever makes you happy, okay? Whatever that is, seriously, whatever that is. No judgment or anything. But when I did the things that made me really creative, it made me realize why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. It made me realize what I'm doing them for, because it allowed me to understand, man, this piece is so beautiful. Like, because of the experiences that I went through, of learning trial and error within this new programming. If I didn't know about this, I don't think I don't feel my art would be as in depth as it is now, basically. So doing more creative things can really help that flow. You have to also think our soul is very abstract, and abstract is more feminine energy. What is feminine energy? It's all about creativity. We all have a masculine and feminine within us. So learning the ways of your creativity, rather that being writing, performing, creating, anything that gets you out of that logical mindset or mindset in general and be more free, will be superb for your growth. Like, it will help you so much. I'm not even joking. And it honestly can kind of give you answers too, because your creativity is coming from that sacral chakra. It's coming from one of those lower chakras, and it's coming up to be revealed to you in the present, in the physical. Therefore, you can kind of see what your inner self is kind of going through based upon what you're creating for yourself. Creativity is it's so underrated. Like, or maybe it's not, but it's so powerful. It's so powerful. So during this time, find something that you can create with. Find something that you can maneuver and do during this process, and allow it to, and welcome it to be a part of your journey, because whatever you're creating for yourself can actually help you grow so much, okay? And last but not least, make sure that you're not, you're learning to do things differently, but you're also applying that as well. I had a huge problem with that. I will learn. I'm a life path 7. I would learn so much, but I would never apply it because it scared me so much because of change. And that's the thing too, acceptance. That's why accepting where you are was one of the first things that I said, is because accepting is one of the hardest things humans can do, because especially if you're a fixed sign, like Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, they're so hard to, they want to master things, and once they master it, they don't want to let it go, because they've mastered that so much. But they have to realize they have to transform to something else, to master something else, and that is so hard for a fixed sign. That is so hard to change course. Now, if you're like a mutable sign like Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sag, like, it's a little bit easier, but it just really depends on your chart. We have so many things in our charts, okay? But I just want to say, I was saying with this process, you have to be open to change. You have to be open to, again, I think I said this earlier with the groups, when I was talking about how when you're changing your mindset, things will start looking differently. You have to be open to that. You have to be available to hold space for yourself, to understand, okay, things are changing, and this is where the patience comes in, and being realistic. All of the first steps that we talked about, it gets more and more and more vital the deeper that you go to transform your old mindset to a new program, okay? Now, that is all that I have for the mindset. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to old conversations versus the new conversations. And again, I got this from my old company that I used to work for, Monet. I don't work for them anymore. I love the personal development that they did. I love. And that's how I honestly started my inner growth. It wasn't with spirituality. It was with this MLM. But then after that, It was On and Popping with Spirituality. It was like the catapult to my spirituality, honestly. So we're gonna do that. So let's go ahead and go to the old conversations versus new conversations. So this is where I want you to get a piece of paper out and a pen, because I'm gonna tell you guys about the old conversations versus the new conversations. And then I'm going to ask you a few questions, or just 2 questions at the end. So, old conversation, I don't know. Instead of saying I don't know, we can switch that to I can figure this out. You see how open that is? I don't know. I can figure this out. You know what I'm saying? It's so open. So be open. Another one is I'm scared. You can change that to I am confident within myself. Okay, we have to realize that, and I'm still realizing this, we have to realize that we are bigger than our fears and illusions. We are bigger than our insecurities in our past. Okay, we have to understand that this is just the mind trying to control what of just things staying the same. The mind loves control. The mind can configure everything with everything being the same. Now if it's new, it can't really do that. So it's like, fuck, like what do I do? It doesn't like being wrong. Okay, that's just the mind. Okay, so being more confident within yourself, understanding that you are bigger than your fear and illusions can really help and allow the process to be a little bit lighter. Okay, we have all of these cells that are dormant, right? We can activate those cells that were fearful by the power of our words, by the power of changing our mindset. Now it might feel stupid or not realistic at first, but practice makes perfect. Okay, and once you understand, like, okay, this is not a good talk to my inner child, or not a good talk to me, let me switch it up to this, you become a little bit more lighter and more optimistic with things that are going on. So another old one is people will think it's stupid. Okay, change that to I am smart as fuck. Or if you don't cuss, I am smart AF. And if that's even too much, I am so smart. Period. Because we got to think, we got to feel that everything is within us. Learning how to understand your own being can really help with understanding and loving people unconditionally. Sweet talk yourself, be kind to yourself, be your best friend. You wouldn't treat your best friend so critical, so fucked up, so just in such disrespect. I mean, unless you guys both do that to each other, then you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, I don't know. Who am I to know? But I'm telling you guys to treat yourself with respect. Be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Treat yourself as you would treat your best friend. Okay, we have to learn how to come out of this harsh, judgmental place, because it's not going to get us anywhere. We have to stop judging, and I know that's so hard, especially because society has so many different identifications for things that it makes it hard to not criticize, especially for those signs that are very critical, okay, that can peep literally everything. It's really hard not to judge. But the more that you judge outwardly, the more that you judge inwardly, because whatever you're doing outwardly is how you feel internally. That's why you judge other people, because you judge yourself so much. Let's turn our judgment into discernment. Those are just a couple of good conversations or transitions that you can use. Again, I got this from a couple of years ago from the company that I used to work for, Monet. Let's go ahead and go to the other parts. So if you guys wrote that down, congratulations. That's a stepping stone for you, honey. But if not, that's okay. But I would really, really, really like for you to get out your notes right now, or that phone, you know, whatever you have, and write down your barriers. Write down my barriers, okay? Semicolon. Anyways, write down the barriers that you have, and I'll give you a few examples of mine from a couple years ago. I cancel plans all the time on people last minute. I'm still working on it. I don't read as much. I want to be myself without overthinking situations. That's a barrier for me. Changing is a barrier for me. Inconsistency is a barrier for me. So just like a few things that is more of feels like a block to you. Write those down. This will help not only for you to see on paper, but to get those more deeper roots of things onto paper. It's kind of like listening to yourself, okay? And then set goals for your barriers. So for me to be one of my barriers being inconsistency, being inconsistent, I started doing a lot of consistent things with my modeling or doing a lot of consistent things with YouTube, like things like that. Another one of my goals was to read more. So I'm starting to read more, even if it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I even put it like on my schedule thing to read. So that's what I basically want you guys to do my barriers, okay? Write down the barriers that you have and then goals for my barriers. So to set the tone to a different frequency, all right? So that is all for the old conversations versus new conversations. Now we're going to get into more of the things that you could do physically that can help you get into this new programming. So a lot of things can really help you get aligned with yourself physically. Whether that being exercise, whether that being yoga, but the number one I always will advocate for is meditation. It is literally your consciousness going into another state of mind that is completely different from the state of being that you're in now. Okay, it gives you time. It's not even about time, but it gives you space and it gives you stillness to allow yourself to recognize, okay, this is how many thoughts are coming in my way when I'm trying to be still. This is what I'm thinking about. And you allow yourself to let it go during the practice of meditation. If you don't know how to meditate, there's many YouTube videos on that shit. There's a lot of videos on meditation. I would look up, if you guys don't want to do guided meditations where they have someone talking you throughout the process, I want you to look up self-iago, or you don't even have to put a slash, but it's self, EGGIO. I think that's how you spell it. Self-iago frequencies. I want you to look that up. I want you guys to look up binaural beats. Do binaural beats that are theta waves, because those are like, that's like the state that you're in, like when you're a baby, like when you start seeing like supernatural shit and all that shit. But like once you do, I would recommend theta waves and delta waves. That's what I usually do. But anyways, and then there's different things that you can do for meditation. Let's say that you're depressed, okay? There's a depressed meditation. Let's say if you need some protection, there's protection meditation. Let's say that you need positive meditation. There's things for that, okay? Same thing with yoga. There's different types of categories within those things, okay? Exercising is actually really good for you because it's releasing all that karma. It's releasing all those cells, the old excess energy away. It makes you feel good, okay? Sleep. If you don't do any of those things that I just told you about, please sleep. Like, please give yourself 7 to 8 hours of sleep, okay? It's so important. It's so important because it regulates so much of your body. Your body is so important within this physical because it connects to everything, okay? So get as much sleep as you can. Also, if you are a dreamer or you do dream a lot, buy a journal and write down your dreams. They can actually help you with your unconscious things. Your subconscious is actually connected to the quantum field. So when you go to sleep in that theta wave, you are allowing yourself to understand how you feel internally. So let's say if you're having a tornado dream, for instance, or you're having like nightmare dreams or scary dreams for, a week or so, something in it's like your subconscious is telling you something in your life is it feels like a tornado. It feels very disruptive, chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Like your dreams tell you a lot of things. Now, it's not always a precise thing, but when you'll feel it, when it feels like, okay, this is something that I need to, you know, listen to, or not listen to, but once I write it down, this is something that I need to take note of. Okay, what is this trying to tell me? Okay, dream journals really help. Drinking water, of course, really helps as well. Our body is like 90% water, so that's a given. Drinking water really helps with a lot of things, a lot of like, just a lot of things. Water's great, water's good. And then learn something new. It doesn't mean like, oh, I'm learning this new mindset, so now everything deals with this new mindset. Like, yeah, everything is, or yeah, the mindset is very important, but learn something physically new. It will help your mind expand. The more new stuff that you do, the more easier this process of cultivating this new mindset really helps. Therefore, you learning, and this is why it all correlates to following your dreams, because once that mindset is cultivated, nobody can tell you fucking nothing. You have built this mindset from scratch, and you've worked so hard to do it. Nothing can stop you because of the experiences that you went through, by tracking, by observing, being the observer of your life to understand, aka meaning being the observer of your mind to understand, this is where my mind is and this is where I want to go. And you start actually seeing those steps and implementing those steps and seeing your fucking progress physically. Nobody can tell you shit. Nobody can tell you anything. Like, seriously, it's the best feeling ever. I am a living witness. I am a living witness of this. And if you do not believe me, please go to my Instagram to March 2022 and see how my life has changed. Like, seriously, change your mind, change your life. And it is hard. It is challenging, but you have to learn how to love the process. Okay, I'm still learning. Oh, well, I got my new program, right? It's on. And when I mean it's on, it's just meaning that my mindset has shifted. I personally know, and you will also personally know when your mindset has shifted because of the outcomes that the things that you've like done and the outcome that you have like right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from right now, I know that what I'm doing now, or the people that I've attracted, the things that I've attracted now would have never been in my reality a year ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by the programming is on. The mind shift has happened. And actually a lot of people's mind shift has happened due to a lot of astrology things. It's on. So now that I have learned this new mindset, I'm putting it to the test with something completely new within my life. I can't tell you guys right now, but I will tell you guys later. And it is so scary, but so exhilarating at the same time. I can't tell you enough. And not only with this process, but this process of changing my mind, since, I mean, I've been trying to change my mind or upgrade my mind for a really long time. But I feel like 2022 is like when I was like, okay, I actually have to I have to implement this stuff. Remember when I was telling you guys earlier in like the beginning of the video, I was like, it's nothing if you don't apply it. Well, 2021, I did apply it, but it was just so many, I was applying it more spiritually. I didn't know how to, apply it to all areas of my being. So now that I'm learning how to apply it to every part of me and my being this year, man, oh man, it's all about mastery. It's all about mastery at this point. It's Aquarius season, okay? Aquarius is all about consciousness. It's all about humanity. It's all about the God particle, because God is consciousness. So that means that we have a God particle within us. And also, with it being an Aquarius season, this video can really allow you to have a stepping stone of what's next for you. Whatever you desire, whatever you're aiming for, this is the perfect time, because Aquarius is all about the mind. Okay, this is the time to look at yourself for a second. See where you are, accept where you are, see the steps that you feel is realistic to you to take you to that first initial start, that initial point of starting your journey to reprogram your mind, to change your mind, and to also change your life. I love you guys so much. I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.